Well, the underground is just about done. I have yet to deal with the data and the power out to the gate, but it's going to take me a while to build that gate. But the dirt work, the endless ditches and backfilling and compaction and piping that I've been working on since the middle of September, and by the way, yesterday was Thanksgiving. I hope it was as good for you as it was for us. But the driveway is pretty well graded out, smooth enough to use until I get something in here that'll do a nicer job. The yard is, you know, pretty well taken care of and has been seeded a little bit. We have just a little bitty start on some of the grass seed. We're still having to dodge the ditches when we go in and out of the house, but it's way better. And out to the shop, it's usable. Ready for winter. The last stone to turn, the last bit of work to do, is to turn the water on to these hydrants. See that? This was Phil Rocus's design. It's these hydrant configuration faucets that are frost-proof and also impossible to service if you bury them in your yard and they fail, as they occasionally do. So we have an arrangement here where the water comes in and can be isolated from the hydrant itself with a valve, and then if the rocks are pulled out, the whole menagerie can be taken out and worked on. Phil's design, Phil's idea, and I think it's a good one, but it was a little trouble to do. I've got it in 4 places. The other one is over here by the shop. One last stack of gravel. Useful, I think, and pretty hard to knock over. So now's the moment of truth. I'm going to put some water pressure to it and see what happens. Heard a little surge of water, then it stopped. So hopefully everything is tight, dry, and ready to bury. Let's see what's going on down inside of here. Drips. Whoop, there's a drip. Well, that's no good. This is only supposed to be leaking when the water is shut off and the water that's up in the standpipe drains out so it doesn't freeze. All right, that's going to require some attention. All right, here's the one by the shop door. It's dry. All right, now there's how that's supposed to work. The water drains out after it's been utilized and then stops once it empties. Well, that didn't work so good. I was going to point out to you that I really struggled with part of this PEX mechanism. In this cold weather, these Wurzbo collars just didn't want to squeeze down. And that is proof of that. I don't know, I heated them, I poured cold water on them, I took a hairdryer and put on them, and some of them just didn't want to shrink. And that one bit me. All right, back to the drawing board. Okay, so I replaced the one that blew this morning with brass, crimp-on bands, and problem solved. And down on the other side of the shutoff valve, we have some sort of a drip. And so if this thing blows in the next 5 seconds, my camera is going to get wet. But I guess now's the time to discover it. I don't know what went on. I don't know if it is an anomaly in the pipe. I don't know if it's an anomaly in the bands, or I don't know if there was a loose nut on the handle of the stretching, or tightening machine? Probably that. But I don't know. I'm just going to cut that out of there and use the crimp-on, because at least that visually and in terms of the effort I have to expend, I know it's squeezing the darn thing, and so peace of mind is worth quite a bit of effort. All right, my camera was glitching out, so I don't know if you saw me put these in. I cut off the one that was seeping, put a brass elbow in there of the stainless band type. Everything's dry here. That shrink-on fitting does not appear suspect. Replace that. I think that all of the seeps and drips are taken care of. I'm going to let it sit out till the afternoon's over. And if everything remains dry on this sunny afternoon, I'm going to backfill it. Well, I have reason to hope that these are the last shovelfuls of rock or dirt that I'm going to have to play with this winter. Washed rock going down in here. I've put some filter fabric around the bottom of this thing to kind of protect that weep hole from plugging up. I'm going to put a food dish, chicken food dish, over the top of that ball valve, just so I don't have to dig out so much rock if I want to get in there and play with it. And the rest of this is one vast experiment, but Phil has confidence with those two fittings replaced that didn't seem to want to work for some reason. Now I have confidence, and I think that by this time next year we're going to know just what kind of a plumber I actually am. But in the meantime, it's time to start thinking about other projects inside the shop while the rain falls and Kenny can come over and kind of keep track of what's going on. And I'm glad to have this whole underground slow motion train wreck behind me. Well, that's it. Pretty much those are the last rocks I intend to shovel till next spring sometime. Shoveling's good, but shoveling can lose its luster after a while, I can tell you that. And I'm ready to get back into that old shop. I've got a gate to build for the front of this place, and then finally, at long last, I'll be ready to start trying to build a Ken Jordan shaker style workbench. That project has been a long time coming, and I just can't wait to begin to slide some of that white oak into that table saw and make something beautiful come out of that shop. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman, and keep up the good work.